Once upon a time, in a town where nobody owned cars, but everyone built bridges, there lived two friends, Benny and Carl. Now, Benny was what he called confident, some might even say recklessly confident. Carl, on the other hand, was a patron saint of hesitation. If you asked him to jump into a swimming pool, he'd want a 17-page risk assessment first. So naturally, when the town announced a contest, who can build the strongest bridge, Benny and Carl signed up. Benny strutted to his pile of wood and nails. He cracked his knuckles and said, "Easy, I was born for this." Carl stared at his pile of wood like it was a ticking time bomb. He whispered, "What if I nail it wrong? What if the wood splits? What if the bridge collapses and the people laugh?" So, while Benny hammered away, Carl, he made a spreadsheet. While Benny laid planks, Carl, he researched top 10 bridge failures in history. While Benny sang songs about how awesome his bridge was, Carl, he stared at a single nail for 3 hours, asking, "Are you sure about this?" By the end of the week, Benny's bridge wasn't perfect. In fact, it leaned a little to the left. A goat once walked across and looked mildly concerned. But it stood. Carl's bridge? Well, it never existed. He doubted every decision so much that he never drove in the first nail. Here's the twist. Years later, Benny's slightly crooked bridge had been reinforced, repaired, improved. People used it every day. It became stronger because it existed. Carl, he still carried blueprints in his backpack. Brilliant ideas, careful plans, but not a single bridge, because doubt had robbed him of his chance to even begin. And the villagers? They didn't say, "Wow, Benny's first bridge was crooked." They said, "At least Benny built something." Carl, well, he became known as the guy with potential, which is really just a polite way of saying he never did much. The lesson? Confidence builds bridges. Doubt just builds excuses. Confidence doesn't guarantee perfection, but it does guarantee progress. And progress, however shaky, can always be strengthened. Doubt, on the other hand, is like termites in the wood, silent, invisible, until one day the whole dream collapses before it's even real. So, the next time life hands you a pile of wood and nails, don't just sit there making spreadsheets for all eternity. Pick up the hammer, build your bridge, and remember, a crooked bridge is still better than no bridge at all. Unless, of course, it collapses while a goat is crossing. In that case, reinforce it and try again. Because the science of confidence is simple. Believe enough to begin.